Election 2008. This is PNC News, special coverage of the Guam general election.
Good evening and welcome back. Thanks for joining us for Election 2008, PNC's coverage of the Guam general election. I'm Catherine Cruz Norton. We are waiting for election results to come in from Election Central at the University of Guam Fieldhouse. And as we do that, we are now joined by Delegate Madeleine Bordallo. Congresswoman Madeleine Bordallo, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you, Catherine. It's nice to be here in the studio after quite a hectic day.
Absolutely. You were here during our primary election, so we do appreciate you coming back for the general election coverage. Now, you spent some time polling the different sites, going around the entire island today. Tell us how that was.
Well, we've been on the road since early morning. I voted in Tamuning, which is my home, and then we proceeded all around to the north, to Dedido and Jigo, and up through Manilo and Barragata, and all the way down to the south, to all the southern areas, and then came up around to Agate and Santa Rita.
Sure.
So we did the round the island trip.
And we understand that there was a little bit of a light turnout today, earlier in the day, and I think it might have picked up as the evening wore on, and as people managed to get off work in order to spend some time voting.
You know, being in so many elections over so many years, I always feel that when the polls open, you have a surge, and then during lunch hour, people will try to get away and vote, and then in the evening hours, I remember being up north for many elections, and there were just hundreds and hundreds of people, and the wait was quite long.
Sure.
Now, I did that early this morning, so I don't know what the turnout was, but I thought the turnout was rather light this year. We thought maybe the Prop A would push people out. You know, normally a gubernatorial election is when everybody comes out and the percentage of voters is much higher. But I found it a little different this time. And of course, you know, we're used to seeing so many tents out there with the different candidates. We didn't see that this year, you know, so it's a bit different. It was a bit different.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, one of the things that we did talk to you earlier about was the national presidential elections that are going on almost simultaneously with our local elections. And you mentioned earlier that Barack Obama and Senator Biden are, of course, your pick as a Democratic Congresswoman. Tell me a little bit about what you think they will bring to the table in terms of helping to support some of Guam's initiatives.
Well, you know, it's been such a long election in the United States. I feel that once it's over, we won't know what to do with our time. But they've worked so hard, both candidates. I mean, I just can't imagine crossing across the nation, you know, from all across the nation, from one state to another, you know, constantly, sometimes 2 or 3 states in one day. The polls have always indicated that Obama was leading on various different polls. Sometimes the numbers went up, you know, 6, 7, 8, and then they'd go down again. But it's always been rather you know, the same from the very beginning. And to me, of course, I hope that Senator Barack Obama and Joe Biden are the winners. But both candidates are to be commended for just a long haul. And they both have excellent records. Perhaps McCain has been in politics a little bit longer, and he has a wonderful war record. But Obama seems to be just what this country needs at this time. I refer to him as the epitome of the American dream.
Right.
And I think that's what we're looking at. You know, the United States, we've just been through so much in the last couple of years. You know, the economy, the war, and the dissatisfaction with even domestic programs. You know, we're cutting budgets here and there, and American people, they're looking for a change.
Okay.
And Mr. Obama has mobilized the youth, which I think is wonderful.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's going to be an interesting election, both locally as well as nationally, and we will continue to keep an eye on it. Thank you again for joining us. I know that you have a place to go to. You're headed to the
we have a headquarters. You know, and that, of course, is traditional, and that's ongoing. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. I know the people of Guam will be making wise decisions in this election, and I'll be leaving, by the way, on Thursday.
Okay.
We have to go back. We perhaps will have a lame duck session in the U.S. House.
Okay. Well, we will definitely keep in touch with you as you head back to Washington, D.C. Thank you again for joining us.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Well, over at the Republican Party election, PNC Stefan Sebastian caught up with Senator Frank Ishizaki for his take on how the election is going. Here's that story.
We're here at Republican headquarters where I have with me Senator Frank Ishizaki. Senator, how are you feeling about the outcome of this election so far?
Well, it's been a long day. I don't know what the outcome is going to be, so I'll reserve comment till later in the evening and we get some indicators how we all did.
Okay. How are you feeling? You saw the turnout today. Are you feeling upbeat about how this is going to turn out?
Yeah, I think so. It looked like a pretty good turnout, and we got to be optimistic, all of us. And you know, when the voters are done and the tallying is done, then we all accept those numbers and we move forward.
You've had a number of initiatives to reorganize Guam. If you win here tonight, are you hoping to pick those up again?
Oh, I'll continue to find ways to reorganize and make government more efficient, most definitely.
Could you give us an example?
You know what? We spent time with Comp 21, with Senator Palacios and some of the stakeholders as prescribed by prior budget laws, and we'll continue to do that. And so because a lot of work has gone in from some key government representatives, before I commit to any reorg plans, I'll look at what they've come up with collectively.
Great. Thank you. And now back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Stefan. And that is it for now. Mana Silva will be here for our next update at the bottom of the hour, so stay with PNC News coverage of Election 2008 throughout the night. We'll be here until all of the votes are in. You can also log on to our website at pacificnewscenter.com for real-time results. We'll see you soon.
That we've got to train our labor force to be able to sustain the system after the buildup has been completed. Now, it's going to be kind of hard to do that. To be able to do that, of course, we're going to need to make sure that our training institutions get the funding that they need. Ironically, we saw that you know, UOG did not get the level of funding that they need to be able to begin these trainings. GPSS is the same, and I imagine the Guam Community College also. But I think that's going to be very vital, is that we're going to have to train our local labor force to take advantage of the opportunities.
Election 2008. You have been watching special coverage of the Guam general election from PNC News. From broadcast to broadband, news you can trust.